Good morning. It's 115 days until Christmas 2020. This morning, the topic was, did Star Wars kill Daisy Ridley's career? And more specifically, is Kathleen Kennedy killing the careers of the actors within the franchise? So let's discuss that this morning. There's some other topics that are up as well. And so we'll just give a couple moments and I'll kind of introduce some other thoughts that I have. Over the weekend, of course, I saw this topic start to trend in different areas. YouTube, certainly it was showing up on my feed. It started showing up in Twitter, and then I kept hearing little bits of it here and there. There's some other things. Star Wars toys have made some rebounds. We've seen some of the toys that were released lately, especially the ones around the Mandalorian, have started to sell really well, and they're already reselling in eBay and other places, and we'll take a look at that as well. And then there's Friday. I didn't stream, and I'll discuss about why that happened. Currently reading a couple of things and preparing to do something around some of the novels. So I belong to several different Discord groups and have different dialogue in those, and some of them not as healthy as others. So I'm trying to contact some of the folks that I don't necessarily see eye to eye with, and see if we could get on and have a civil discourse versus what happens on Discord or in social media, where that dialogue kind of gets heated, if you will. Good morning, Dale and Trinity. Thanks for coming in this morning to support the channel. I really, really, really appreciate it, guys. And I had some exciting news yesterday as well. One of my friends that I go to church with says that he's been listening to these as he gets ready for work in the morning. And so shout out to my friend Vince. Vinny, good to have you following the stream here. So thanks so much. Good morning, Mike. Hey, I saw that you've been seeing some movies. Going to Heart Rehab. Hope all that goes well, Mike. That's fantastic that you've been doing so well. We'll continue to pray for your recovery. And along that lines, I did share that my brother has been in ICU, in isolation unit with COVID related health issues. Yesterday, he was moved down out of ICU, and he is now just in a COVID-19 unit where he continues his recovery. So fantastic news there that my brother is no longer in ICU, and he's on the rebound from COVID-19. And hopefully he may be released to go home as early as Wednesday this week. His hope is to be home by Friday. Doctors are trying to get him home a little sooner than that. So that's good news as well. All right, so I don't want to get in the same amount of trouble that our friend Adam at Fan Gesture gets in, because he waits about 20 minutes to get to the main topic, sometimes longer. So I want to get to the main topic right away and welcome you all here. And it's great to see you this morning. Let's take a look at this. So I pulled up this morning just a Google search, right, around. This is my Google search. Oh, you can't see it. I just put in the term Daisy Ridley. Let's see, scooch it down just a little bit here. Yeah, there's the Google search, Daisy Ridley, and we hit news, and you can see the topics that start coming up right away. Star Wars star Daisy Ridley blacklisted by Hollywood. Star Wars star Daisy Ridley admits she's been struggling to get acting jobs after the rise of Skywalker. Game rant. Nobody would hire Daisy Ridley after she finished Star Wars. So you can see, what they're putting into the headline just to get traffic, right? We start to get some others here. The Independent, Daisy Ridley says no one wanted to employ her. The Daily Mail. English actress Daisy Ridley reveals she struggled to find work after the final Star Wars film. And this keeps going on, right? So there's a lot of these topics. And from practically every news outlet, we see Yahoo News covered it, LRM Online, one of Star Wars channels, as well, saying that she hasn't gotten much work. And of course, from our friends in the Fandom Menace, I saw headlines such as Kathleen Kennedy destroys Daisy Ridley's career. Okay, let's talk about this more from a reason perspective, and let's take a look. Did Kathleen Kennedy, or has Kathleen Kennedy killed the careers of the actors within the Star Wars franchise? And moreoverly, are these actors still struggling for work? And what's the overall picture look like? And I'll just lead with, if you've been following Star Wars for any amount of time, and the actors involved in the franchise, I'll throw this out, and you guys can put it in the chat. Name me, other than say Harrison Ford, big movies that we have seen Star Wars actors play in live action. So we know Mark Hamill has a very prolific voice acting career. He's played the Joker. He's many people's favorite Joker of all in all of DC, and there's a strong argument for that. But outside of his voice acting, how many movies can you just think of off the top of your head that Mark Hamill's been in? How about Carrie Fisher? How about Carrie Fisher? How many big movies can you think that she's been in since her career with Star Wars through the end of her life, tragically? How about from the prequel era? How's Hayden Christensen been doing? Right. What about Ahmed Best? What about we do have a couple that came out of there very, very strong. Of course, Ewan McGregor, a great career, and Natalie Portman, she's had a great career as well, and continues to show in movies. But then from the sequel era, we'll take a look at some of these actors and see where their careers are going. I just want to keep up with the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, Dale, does that have anything to do with COVID? No, Mike Porter, from what I understand, he had some heart surgery a few months ago, and non-COVID related. I think this was another issue that he had to have fixed, and he's been recovering quite well. So I just want to take a look at Daisy's career. Where has she gone since Star Wars? What has she been involved in? And certainly she had this interview where she said, following Star Wars, she took a break and she came back and she started looking for roles, and she got passed up for a lot of them. And that was kind of the term she used. She got passed up for a lot of them. Well, has Star Wars killed her career? Has it helped her career? What's the situation there? And then let's take a look at a couple of the other sequel trilogy actors and see what we have. And keep in mind that we are just following the rise of Skywalker, and we've gone into this pandemic where movies aren't releasing all that much. Although there's been a couple here in the last week that seem to be doing relatively well, some better than others. Yeah, New Mutants not doing so great. But let's take a look. So Daisy Ridley here. We look what's I just pull up on IMDb. It's pretty easy. If we look at her filmography, we have here just a list. So we see 2017 Star Wars, right? Let's go back a little bit more. So we get The Last Jedi in 2017. This is really where we start seeing some, well, let's go back for Star Wars, The Force Awakens, 2015. So here we go. Murder on the Orient Express came right in the middle. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. I watched it because Daisy was in it, and I wanted to see what it was about. I would say that her role in that movie was somewhat subdued. I wouldn't say that it was a shining example of the quality of work that she's capable of. Let's put it that way. She does okay. And Trinity, I'll agree with you. She's a decent actor, and I do think she has potential to be great. I agree with you. And that's what I was sort of mentioning here with Murder on the Orient Express. She played a different role in there, but it was a bit flat. You just have to be honest with that. 2018, she played Ophelia. Now, I haven't seen that movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it. You have any opinion on her role there? Um, I'm not quite sure. Although she did get some recognition from there. Here we have a couple of voice acting roles: Peter Rabbit and Flopsy Turvy. Maybe she's being typecast as a rabbit. I don't know. What do you think? No, that's silly. We get into Rise of Skywalker. So since Rise of Skywalker, what is where's Daisy's career going here? We have Dawn of Art, it's a video game, 12 minutes video game. Chaos Walking, it's a 2021. It's in post production. I don't know anything about this movie, but there's one. Here we have the Lego Star Wars video game everybody's excited about. That's coming out, of course, voice acting there. Asteroid Hunters, voice acting. The Inventor, voice acting. Coma. Now, this was just announced. She's playing the lead there, Tamara Coma, and I would assume that's the lead, since the name of the movie is Coma. Maybe I'm pronouncing that right, maybe I'm not, but there's no clue about what that is. And A Woman of No Importance, she's playing Virginia Hall there. So, is she finding work? Yeah, I think she is. Was it maybe difficult to find some things following? Yeah, I think so. But is that uncharacteristic? Is Star Wars the leaping board that throws people's career into high drive and puts them in front of things? And I would make a bit of an argument that it didn't even do that for Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford had a career coming in that was already somewhat notable. And if you'll remember, he did some of the screen tests for Star Wars as a favor for George Lucas, and he was not auditioning for the role of Han Solo. He was filling in to be the counter to somebody. And George eventually talked him into being in it. And we know what his thoughts have been about Star Wars since, right? He wanted to be killed off. He asked to be killed off, and he wasn't. And I think thankfully so, right? So he carried through the original trilogy, and then, of course, into the sequels. But we have Han Solo and an extended career of Han Solo because they did not kill off his character. So I think that's, if you look at Harrison Ford, certainly Indiana Jones was huge, and he had other projects. So take him a little bit out of that picture. But let's just take a look at the lead for the original trilogy. Let's take a look at Carrie Fisher's results here and see what has she been, what was she in during her career. So we go all the way back to Star Wars. Of course, that's 1987, 1983. So we're getting there, 1977. So Star Wars, New Hope. And then we have some movies here. Come Back, Little Sheba. I don't know that one. Ringo. I've heard of Ringo. I haven't watched it. I'm familiar with it. Leave Yesterday Behind, a TV movie. See, these are TV movies. TV movie, TV movie, TV movie, TV series. Saturday Night Live, of course. Star Wars. Blues Brothers, Mystery Woman. So there's a big one. Then Star Wars. Under the Rainbow, 1981. That's a movie I'm not familiar with. Sounds like one that I maybe should have seen, but I didn't. Laverne and Shirley, that's TV series. And then with Star Wars again, we get TV series, Fairy Tale Theater. Garbo Talks, I don't know that one. Frankenstein TV movie. The Man with One Red Shoe. Now, I am familiar with that one, but I don't remember her role as Paula. Maybe one of you do. And then we get TV movies, TV shorts. Hannah and her Sisters, Hollywood Vice Squad, 1986, Liberty, 1986, Magical World of Disney. So we're back in the TV series, American Woman on the Moon. So you just kind of see 1990. We've got a decent list of movies and TV shows, but none of these, I would say, except, I mean, there, of course, the Blues Brothers was big, but what's the first name you think of? Blues Brothers. Not Carrie Fisher, right? Oh, I certainly hope not. I hope it's Belushi, right? The first name that should come to your head is Belushi. I'll give you Aykroyd. Maybe Aykroyd Belushi, right? So there's that. Let's look what else. And Trinity, you're exactly right. So we keep just looking at Carrie's career. Now, people might explain away Carrie to some degrees due to her mental health issues, and she kind of disappeared. But I think, and that may be fair enough, but she was known for being a little out there, right? She was known for being a little eccentric, and then of course she put on some weight, and in Hollywood that has traditionally been a difficult thing for actresses who put on weight to get roles of any importance. But that's the deal, and of course we get Star Wars again. So let's go ahead and look at Mark Hamill. All right, Mark Hamill, come on. Yep, there you are. So Mark Hamill comes up, and of course we mentioned voice acting, right? So we know that Mark has had a good bit of voice acting, but what movies do you remember him in? What movie comes to mind? Not Star Wars. Think of a movie Mark Hamill was in, not as a voice actor and not as Star Wars. I'll give you guys just a little bit of chance. Yeah, Second Street Marvel. I remember in The Burbs. Yeah, The Burbs was a good movie. Tom Hanks, right? And I don't remember her in that, but it's been a long time since I've seen that movie, of course. Let's get all the way back here, 1977. And I know that Mark Hamill's, I'm already seeing stuff on here. Yeah, not much, right? So let's get back here, 77s. We get Star Wars, of course. Here's some voice acting. Corvette Summer, that the next summer, 1978. I don't remember that. Some Star Wars stuff. I'm just going up through the nights. The lights went out in Georgia. Now that was a big song. In the movie I'm not familiar with the movie. I might have been a bit young for it still. Early teens. Britannia Hospital, Star Wars, Amazing Stories TV, Castle in the Sky, Alfred Hitchcock. Again, that's great, but it's TV. I'm just, you keep looking, and none of these were big movies. 1991, Sleepwalkers. 92, that was a big movie. Sleepwalkers was a big movie. Yeah, Trinity. Yeah, most of Mark Hamill's stuff has been voice acting. Most of it's been more comedic. Sleepwalkers is a big movie back at the time. But look here, look what it says. He played Lieutenant Jenkins as an uncredited role. Now that's a big actor, right? Big time actor, marquee actor. You know, somebody that draws people into the box office. Somebody you want to name in headlines on your title, right? Uncredited. That Mark Hamill's not selling you tickets if he's uncredited. That's for sure. And again, we get some others up in here that are Time Runner. I kind of remember that. And then all of these voice acting, of course, Batman. He is a fantastic voice actor, by the way. And I'm not going to squabble with somebody who wants to say that he is the best Batman. Trinity, I'll leave him to argue with people over that. But and I've heard Trinity talk about the best Batman. And I agree with you, Trinity. So there's that, the raffle. Again, I don't see just, tons of stuff. Ren and Stimpy, which is, by the way, maybe coming back. Who knows? Here's a animated series. The point is, Star Wars did not launch careers of the actors. They primarily went to TV series, voice acting, and here's Daisy saying that she's getting voice acting roles, but not a lot of lead roles. And when we looked at her upcoming films, she does have some lead roles. So we looked at those. Let's take a look at I'm a Real Boy, the wooden actor Hayden Christensen, right? So Hayden is. I have seen Hayden in some other work, and I'm here to tell you, he would. I use that as a joke on purpose. Not a great actor. Not a great actor. Some of the other things I've seen him in, Dale, yeah, yeah, happy, joy. Yeah, that's Ren and Stimpy. I loved Ren and Stimpy, but if we go back and look, Star Wars, look, we didn't have to scroll very far for Hayden, right? And Hayden had some movies that he was in prior to Star Wars. So you get here in 2002, episode 2. That's when he stepped in as Anakin, of course. But look, he had a decent career coming up, and he was kind of making his way. He had been in a couple of movies, TV movies, TV series. Here's Life as a House. That's the first movie, and then we get Star Wars, Shattered Glass, Factory Girl, Awake. None of these big. Jumper. Now this is the movie I saw him in. I saw him in Jumper. And I didn't think he didn't impress me there. I wasn't really all that taken by him. New York, Takers. Takers is another good movie. I'm just looking. Outcast, 90 Minutes in Heaven. And look, I mean, that's it. Look here. I mean, his career went nowhere. He did not, have an upward trajectory following Star Wars. We know that, of course, as I mentioned earlier, Ewan McGregor, fantastic career. People are huge fans of his. Natalie Portman as well. But Natalie had to kind of go a different direction with her career. She wanted to break away from the role, and so she did like Black Swan, some things that were kind of edgy and kind of on the edge, outside, and she knocked those out of the park. And she showed that she had the acting chops on her own, and she built her career afterwards. So I want to credit Natalie Portman for that. She did the work, and she made a name for herself based on the quality of work that she did. And Hayden didn't go far, did not launch his career. And I would argue that Ewan McGregor, Star Wars was amongst the movies he was doing. I don't know that it launched him. So I'm just trying to be a little bit fair there. We've looked at the prequel, the original trilogy. We could take a look at Oscar Isaacs, for example. So Oscar Isaac, I know that he has had a decent career. I've seen him in some other things, and he actually does a really, really good job. Yeah, Trinity, I agree with you. Natalie is probably, she's up there. Ian McGregor's done a decent job, but Natalie really has done a fantastic job. But if we look at Oscar Isaac, now I've seen him in some things, and I went back. I saw him in some work that he did way before Star Wars, and I didn't know he was in it. And all of a sudden, I saw him. I was like, "Holy moly! There's Poe Dameron, Ex Machina." That's a big movie. It shows up. It's always on streaming services, but so it's getting some. Look, we've got the Bourne Legacy. He had quite a career before Star Wars ever came along, right? And then, of course, Star Wars comes in, The Force Awakens. We get X-Men Apocalypse, big movie, right? He did that. Some voice acting here. The Promise, Suburbicon. That's I saw him in that one. He did a great job in that movie. We get Last Jedi, Annihilation. So he's got an At Eternity's Gate, Life Itself. So here's a guy that had a career coming in. He played Gomez Addams, voice in the Addams Family movie, of course. And then look here, Dune, one of the movies that people are really, really excited that coming out, and we hope that it's going to be a great movie. But Dune, he's got a big role there, and then several other miniseries, different things like that. So he's doing fine. And then Finn, why can't I think of his name right now? It'll come to me. Oh, come on now. Why can't I think of Star Wars Finn? I get these. John Boyega. My goodness, Brian. Santa. So John Boyega. Let's take a look at his career. Oops. I found this Russian guy, John Boyega. It'd help if I could type this morning. And let's see, how's John been doing? And I know that he has done a lot of work to keep working, and he's got some like off the rails kind of thing. He's kind of going more the direction of Natalie Portman, if we were comparing him, I think, to anybody else. Yeah, Trinity, I think so. Oscar Isaac's on the same trajectory as Liam Neeson. Boyega, yeah, pretty good. He's trying to do his own thing. Harvey, good morning. Oh, good morning. Thanks for joining. Attack of the Block was awesome. I haven't seen that one. But here we get John Boyega. Of course, he did work leading up to Star Wars, but then boom, his career hit Star Wars. And then what do we get afterwards? Watership Down. It's a miniseries. Small Axe, TV miniseries. Naked Singularity. And then Rebel Ridge and Borderland. So not a huge list, but I know he's got his own little production companies where he's doing some very small work, and we may not see those things come up. So I'm here to say that you get this interview with Daisy where she says, hey, it was a little bit hard coming out of Star Wars to get a bunch of offers. And all of a sudden, what do the headlines look like? What are people leading with? And it's this: was she blacklisted? Nobody would hire her. We get all kinds of things about Kathleen Kennedy ruining her career. Excuse me. And all of that is a clickbait narrative, and I just call it that. It's a clickbait narrative. There's not been a huge list of successes coming out of Star Wars franchise of actors who were springboarded into their careers off of Star Wars. Certainly raises their above the water, right? It raises them above the water where they're seen more. But I don't think that it at all helps with those. So that was the lead topic I wanted to talk about. Also wanted to talk about the Star Wars toy sales. So we had Star Wars toys. We have seen some black, uh, the Blacklist toys released recently. Excuse me. And these black label box sets are selling tremendously well out of Target and eBay. They're reselling. Their prices are being marked up. I saw one of them listed on eBay for over uh, $90, and I was a little uh, surprised, right? And there's been this talk about, well, um, the sequel trilogy has absolutely killed Star Wars. Star Wars is dead. They can't sell toys. They've got these terrible characters. The characters aren't selling toys. Well, let's take a look at, and maybe I should have done some more work. I thought this would come up. Oh, here we go. Let's get off the news. Get over to shopping. And take a look. Some of these toys that are reselling here on eBay, and just see what's going on. I was on eBay over the weekend, and here's the one that I saw. This stock, the Black Series Mandalorian in Beskar. Let's just see. Here it's $31, which is already above the retail cost, and plus $10 shipping. So there's 41 bucks for this Black Series Mandalorian. Let's see. Let's just see if we can get a better list. Here we go. Here's 58 bucks for this the Super Commander. Free shipping. 60 bucks for that one, right? This one's 39. 102 sold. Look, these are selling. They're selling like crazy, and that they're already hitting the secondary market, the resellers, and the dates are coming up, and or the prices are jumping on all of these. Here's the one I saw, 90 bucks. $90. Holy moly, folks. Right? Oh, Star Wars, the sequel trilogy, Disney's ruined Star Wars. They can't sell toys. Well, I've got news for you. The Mandalorians within the Disney era, they're going to say, well, hold on, Santa. Those were done by Dave Filoni, and they wouldn't let Kathleen Kennedy anywhere near it. That wasn't her project. She didn't have any control over it, and that's where we get good Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy ruined Star Wars. Folks, if you believe that narrative, I've got some property that I would love to talk to you about. Love to talk to you about, because Santa wants retirement. Oh my goodness. So Dale, good question, and it leads to another topic. I just want, and I'll get to that question here in just a moment. So, are Star Wars toys selling? Yeah. Who are they selling to? Who do you think's buying these? Who do you think are buying these Black Series figures? Was it kids? Are kids lining up, begging their parents for these Black Series figures? What do you think? I have my thoughts. I have my thoughts. I think that these are adults buying these. I think these are collectors buying these. I think these are fans buying these, which still supports the narrative that toys aren't selling from the sequel trilogy because the adults, the collectors, those hardcore fans, they're just simply not interested in those characters. And I'll give you that. I'll absolutely give you that. I think that's true. I don't think that those movies were primarily made to attract to the older audiences, and there's lots of commentary about should they have been. Could the sequel trilogy have better addressed the hardcore fans who have been around for decades and been aimed towards a new audience and bringing a new audience in? And I think the answer to that is absolutely yes. And I think that the sequel trilogy was terribly mismanaged from many aspects. I'm a huge fan of the movies. I love them. Santa loves those sequel trilogy movies, but people from my generation, I might be in a minority. It's going to be close, right? There's a great number of fans who, especially when you talk about hardcore fans, fans who have been more invested in the franchise. I think that, yeah, a majority of those fans kind of more turned off by the sequel trilogy than on. But and I think that the sequel trilogy could have done a better job of reaching a broader audience. That there were stories that could have been told, and even within the story that they did tell, could have been done a little bit differently. Some tweaks here or there could have made it far more appealing to the hardcore fans, and they would have been selling these Black Series figures of the sequel trilogy characters, which just aren't moving like the ones here that we're getting from like from the Mandalorian. So Dale, you lead me into the next topic that I wanted to bring up, and it's the Mandalorian. So our friend Adam at Fan Jextra threw out a bomb last week, and it shook my head. I wasn't ready for it. He didn't give me any preparation, but I think that he might be right. And you know, I know Josh hates it when Adam is right. It makes Josh crazy. He can't stand when Adam at Fan Jextra is right, and unfortunately, Adam is right more than he's wrong, and Josh just has to suffer with it. It's great, and it's great entertainment. It makes me happy. It makes me happy on the inside to see to see the turmoil Josh has to go through every time Adam's right. But Adam brought up last week something that I think is absolutely possible, and ties right into Dale's question. Might we get the Mandalorian season trailer for season 2 with Mulan? Right? That was the bomb that Adam threw out, and I was like, holy moly! I hadn't even thought about that. That idea wasn't in my head. But when we think about big trailers, anticipated trailers, and I don't know how many of you have experienced this, but I know some of the big movies that they were releasing trailers, they attached them to another movie, and people would buy a ticket to go see the movie, and they would go watch the trailer and then leave, right? Like that kind of stuff happened like crazy. Like the number of tickets sold for movies just to go see the trailer for one of these big anticipated titles was it made the news. People were going to go see movies just to get the trailer. And I wonder if Adam hasn't hit something here. And Adam, I don't know where you got the idea, buddy, but it's brilliant. Might they attach on the Mandalorian season 2 trailer Friday night with Mulan purchase, and then Saturday morning release it online to the world, or even maybe Friday night, like midnight, something like that. So those who purchase Mulan will get an early access release to the trailer for the Mandalorian, and maybe that early access is just a couple hours. Maybe it's as much as 12 hours. I would think that you're going to get somewhere between 3 to 12 hour lead in if they were to attach it that way. And I think that's brilliant marketing. I think that would make a lot of sense. And for that reason, I'm not sure. Oh my goodness. Because, why am I not sure? Because Lucasfilm and Star Wars and Disney have not been all that brilliant when it comes to marketing. They just haven't. And there's some things that they just are head scratching. They're baffling, and in some cases infuriating, because it seems such a smart thing to do, and they can't come up with it on their own. And you get knuckleheads like Adam who can think of these things that are brilliant, and then will they do it or not? I don't know. So we'll see. When is Mandalorian? When is its release? Its release is October. Now I haven't seen a specific date yet, and I'll just Mandalorian season 2 release date. I have not seen. It just says October 2020 on Disney Plus. I don't know what October means. Is that October 1st, the 3rd, or the 15th? I don't have any idea where that might land. So yeah, the people want to leak that to the world, be all over Mulan, and they'll sell tickets. They'll sell tickets just because people want to scrape that trailer and release it themselves. All these negative people that are talking about how stupid Disney is, how they're ruining Star Wars and they will end up buying Mulan just to scrape that trailer to release it on their own. So I think there's a good chance that might happen. So that's the Mandalorian season 2. It's coming out in October. I think Adam might be right that they'll release the trailer with Mulan Friday night. That's my bet. And if he gives us a chance to bet on it, I'll put my chips there because I think that might be the case. We're coming up on 9 a.m. Eastern. I wanted to bring up another topic, and last Friday I was trying to plan to do a stream. I got up Friday morning and was going through the preparation and kind of put it in my head where it needed to be and lining up some topics to think about. And I logged on and went through Discord, and I got engaged in a discussion there that derailed me. And as positive as I am all the time, it's not always easy to be positive. And especially in this space with social media, sometimes I get sucked into the hole, and not necessarily proud of my own actions because I get angry and I get frustrated. And being somebody who has defended the sequel trilogy, somebody who is generally positive on the sequel trilogy, sometimes I get comments online that I take the bait, and I'll start defending the sequel trilogy to somebody who isn't open to discussion. And quickly what happens, and this has happened to me over and over again, the gatekeeping starts. And I say gatekeeping a little bit loosely because it's not saying, well, I'm not a fan, but they're saying your credentials don't match mine. And that means that your thoughts and opinions are wrong, or they're discredited. They don't have any value. And that happens to me more than you might think. As I'm chatting with folks online, it's well, your knowledge of lore isn't as deep as mine, and so you can't understand why I'm mad. Well, the thing is, I do understand why people are mad about the sequels. I understand what they're mad about, and I've taken a lot of time to try to understand that, and I've tried to be open-minded and listen. I specifically sought out some folks who dislike the sequels for that reason, because I couldn't understand, and I wasn't just wanting to go fight with people, but I wanted to see where they're coming from. And there's, as with anything, there's a large amount of variance between the people. Some are just, as a friend of mine at church said yesterday, he's a knuckle dragger, right? He said that about himself. It's said affectionately amongst friends, right? I'm a knuckle dragger. Or as in here, we like to refer to Trinity as our resident boomer, even though we know that our friend Mike Porter is actually a true boomer. But Trinity is the technology boomer, and we give him a hard time about that. And I've had my struggles, but with YouTube. But so I say this in those kind of terms. There are some people in the Star Wars fandom who are anti sequel trilogy, anti Disney who are absolutely infuriating. They're knuckle draggers, and not necessarily in the best sense. The people have bought into a great deal of hype and negativity from other content creators, and they haven't done their own work to find out if what they're hearing is true. There are some very notorious content creators out there who are putting out false information that people then believe, and that becomes the basis for their dislike of the sequel trilogy or of whatever it is, primarily sequel trilogy. One of the things that I keep hitting against in the thing that took me in the rabbit hole Friday was Kathleen Kennedy brought in her feminist SJW agenda into Star Wars, and she killed Star Wars. She made it political. And I have made the argument for the longest time that she didn't bring it in. Maybe she did bring in a certain agenda or direction that they wanted to do, like bring in more female leads, bring in more diversity, bring in more representation of different types of people. And that kind, just that talk alone will trigger people. Hearing those words trigger people, and it's based off of you're going to bypass better qualified, better actors, better producers, better directors to get somebody that meets your demographic versus getting somebody who's best for the job. And I understand that argument, but to say that this is new to Star Wars is just ignorant of the facts. And it goes all the way back to the original trilogy, where George Lucas specifically said that the Ewoks were modeled after the Viet Cong, that the Empire was modeled after the Nixon regime. And George Lucas himself said Palpatine has a name, and it's Richard Nixon. That's exactly George Lucas's words. So that started from the original trilogy. It goes back to the prequels, and I just went straight into the rabbit hole in fighting some of these people about it, and it got me upset. It derailed me, sent my emotions where I didn't want them to be, and I spent the rest of the day kind of struggling with it. I had to take some time off work just to kind of deal with it. I got myself so worked up. So it happens to me. I try to be very positive, but from time to time, it gets the better of me. And I've mentioned I'm a person of faith, and church is very important to me. My friend Vince is listening to the show, and it's a great guy. Wish all of you could be here and get to know each other that I have. But yesterday at church, I heard a fantastic sermon by our pastor that our enemy is not with one another, and we shouldn't be fighting like this on social media, and that we all make these mistakes, and we get involved with things that we shouldn't, and we say things that we shouldn't. We don't necessarily give the right kind of impression of ourselves that we want to give. And I'm certainly guilty of that, and I needed to hear that message yesterday. And I truly appreciate the friends that we have here and the support that we have in this community. So I wanted to talk about why I wasn't on Friday, and that I just needed that break. And I know Josh took a break because he was kind of getting burnt out, and he needed a little bit of a break. But it hits me too, and I try to be positive. I try to come into things even keeled, but every now and then it slips. So I'm going to end there. Again, thanks for being here. Truly appreciate the support in this community. You guys are fantastic people, and you make my day better. And starting it off this way, talking with you all about Star Wars and getting support from my friends is a great place to be. So thank you. Please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, if you're willing to do that. Let people know that we're out here and we're having a great time in the morning. So we'll see you guys over on Adam's channel soon. I'm going to assume he's going to be up. Let me go see real quick. Try to get you there. Maybe we're probably going to miss the pre-countdown timer, But let's see if we can at least get share. Oh, yeah, we're waiting on. So we've missed the pre-countdown timer, but the countdown timer itself hasn't started yet. So we'll meet you guys over on Fanjector's channel. And then we've got the Denim Nerds and Second Street Marvel today to look forward to. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And ho, 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 Merry Christmas, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.